Hey y'all, this is Bridgie from Bougie, Texas Barbecue, and this is the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast.
The Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast is brought to you by Harder Charcoal, where quality meets taste. Get yours today at hardercharcoal.com and use the promo code BLACKSMOKE to save.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, and this is the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon from BKC Cooks. Today, y'all, we have a very special guest, as we always do. And listen, y'all, barbecue is not just a code we live by, it's the culture we embody. Make sure you subscribe right here on YouTube and everywhere else where you get your podcasts. You can listen, you can watch wherever you're at. I guarantee you we're there. And also, y'all, get on over to Patreon. We do have a Patreon, y'all. Get yourself a little membership. We have all types of exclusives over there. We have shows that you won't find anywhere else. We also have Black Smoke After Dark, where, you know, we get a little ignorant over there. You don't want to bring your kids, but trust me, we have a whole lot of fun. We have a really, really good time, y'all. I'm going to start with introducing the guys we got here from the crew. We're going to start out with our resident poet, T from T-Dub Barbecue. T, what's going on, bro?
Oh, man, what's happening, man? How you?
Man, I'm good, brother. Just navigating this move, man.
Ah, yeah, man. Congratulations again, man. How you feel?
Man, I feel good, man. I'm enjoying the place. It's quiet, it's peaceful, it's spacious. Yeah. I'm having a good time, man.
Man, that's good to hear, man.
Yeah. Looking forward to setting up all my cookers though, because
yeah. You got a lot of room, man. So you're gonna have a good time back there.
I got plenty of room, and my thing is, I'm trying to move them once. Which is probably not going to happen, but I'm trying to move them once at least until I build out everything. But I just got to think about where I want the stuff to be and not be too far from the house. But it's still, I got some figuring out.
Because you got that real big one, that open fire one.
And funny enough, it is sitting right next to my back porch. Everything else is sitting on my back porch, but the big boy, yeah, it's off to the side. So, and I've been eyeing it too. I was like, I ought to fire that thing up, but yeah, I just got so much other stuff to do at this point, man. If I go out there and fire that thing out, my wife probably gonna cuss me out, man.
Right? You got time for that, huh?
Right? Exactly. What you been cooking, man?
Man, I really haven't had time to really do anything. I think the last thing I did was some thighs real quick.
Okay.
But man, I've been going and then it's been raining like crazy here.
No.
Oh, let me tell you. So the weatherman last night said that there was only one day so far in August that it didn't rain here.
Damn.
Yeah. It rained, as a matter of fact, a couple of minutes ago. So
y'all getting drenched, man.
Yeah, when you live on this coast, man, August and September, those hurricanes pick up. So it's always, if you don't get the tropical storms or the actual hurricanes, it's the water from the rains coming off there. So, hey.
Yeah. I saw that they talking about one is forming here. It's going to be like the first one of the season.
Yeah.
Hopefully it stays far away from y'all.
Yeah, but I hope to get out there soon, man. I'm grab me an umbrella or something, do something.
I heard that, man. And then next up, we have our brother Alton from the Dog Fathers Barbecue. Al, what's going on, bro?
Man, did I hear correctly that you're going to fire up the Alamo so you can grill a hot dog?
Not opposed to it. You know I've done something similar before. I will fire up that 10-foot wide cooker for one piece of meat.
Hey, I ain't mad.
All I need is an excuse, bro.
Hey, it's something about having that Texas post oak in the air, you know? So it don't really matter what you got on, long as you got that aroma going. So I dig it. I'm with you.
Yeah, and T, you know, Al was talking about the time I fired that thing up, dude. I loaded up splits and burned down coals to grill one pork chop.
No.
Now it was a double cut pork chop, but still, it was one pork chop, and then it's just me and my wife and brother. We ate that pork chop and had leftovers for the next day.
Hey, man, you get them reps in, you know. That's how you prepare.
Absolutely.
That's how you prepare for the big cooks.
Absolutely. And like I said, don't threaten me with a good time, man. All I need is an excuse to fire that joker up, man.
Bro, you got to make it happen. I've had times we've been back here in the pool, and I wasn't even cooking anything, floating in the pool, and I'm like, something ain't okay. Hold up, I need some smoke in the air. Went lit up just to get some smoke in the air. Didn't even cook anything.
We talking about practice,
bro. Not the game. Practice. Yeah.
I know you've been under the weather, man. I hope you're feeling much better.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on. It's that, back to school, whatever, is going on. Cause, Jean typically gets sick pretty much right before the school year starts every year. And it got her first, and I fought it off for a good, a little over a week. And, man, last Friday. Yeah, it jumped on me. It jumped on me hard. It had me in a little headlock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had me missing work. And I was in the house, man. Didn't even leave the house for a good 7 days, 8 days. So, hey, but I fired up today, man. I got a tri-tip on the Weber kettle.
Okay.
Because I felt like, you know what? I got to shake this damn thing, man. I got to do some of my normal, practices. So let's get out on Barbecue Boulevard and get some meat on. And that was the best cook I never smelled.
That sucks.
Oh, man. I mean, I'm back there like sniffing in hard, just so I can smell a little bit here and there, but
Get the aftertaste at the end.
yeah, absolutely. But no, man, we got a tri-tip on. Remember I told you when we came back from vacation, we went through Houston, so I stopped at Wild Fork.
Okay.
And picked up a bunch of meats at Wild Fork, and so I pulled out one of those tri-tips, and it's excellent because it still has the fat cap on it. Like a lot of places, they're cutting all the fat off of it, man, and they make it super lean.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this one still had a nice, good fat cap on it. I didn't trim anything off of that bad boy. Seasoned it up, got it on that Weber kettle, and we did a reverse sear. So,
yes, sir.
I went ahead and did a video on it, so I'll probably get it released this week. It's been a minute since I got a video out, so it's time.
Yeah, man, bro. Trust me, I'm so far in the hole on videos, brother.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, this been a major move. So I've been fortunate though that my partners have been super supportive and patient with me doing the move. And shout out to all of my partners, y'all. I do appreciate y'all. And all the others soon come. I got some heat coming for y'all, man.
Well, they gonna stay cool because I mean we all saw. I don't know what you're going to name it, but I'm going to call it BKC Manor down there where you moved into. So I know we're going to have us a good shindig down there. We're going to have all the partners lined up, and it's going to be a great time, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's sure enough going to be a good time. And I got a name, and
I ain't even going to ask.
It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. And I'll tell you once we wrap up because I'm going to be doing the intro. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a separate channel, just kind of documenting, the city boy moving out to the country. So
I hear you. Hey, nice. But I got one request.
I'm listening.
It's become a mainstay on the podcast. It's just kind of grown on us. You got to make sure you still have an area where Debo can come crash the set.
So let me tell you, he's not happy because the room that I have as my office now, he can't get in this door, at least not yet.
Not yet.
Oddly enough, he's figured out my bedroom door, which I don't know how he's done that, but this one he hasn't figured out just yet. So, yeah, he's out there grunting right now because he can't get in. He wants his executive producer credit. So,
yeah, he out there pacing back and forth. You must think I'm a dog. Shout out to Debo.
Yeah, man. He's a good old puppy. He's a good old puppy.
Wait, bro. Wait. Hold up. That ain't no puppy, bro. There ain't nothing puppy about him.
That's my puppy. That's my baby boy.
I hear you.
Well, y'all, look, as I said, we do have a very, very special guest I want to introduce y'all to. This lady is doing some amazing stuff in barbecue and in the world of content creation, social media. So let me run down some of the stuff that she has going on, y'all. First of all, if you haven't seen her page, shame on you, because her page is just absolutely beautiful, along with all of her cooks and all the stuff she does. So once we introduce y'all make sure I get over there and subscribe and check her out. But she is a pitmaster, recipe creator, and personality behind Bougie Texas Barbecue with Bridgie. It's a brand that blends Texas barbecue traditions with Tex-Mex creativity. She's a proud mama for a proud Texan, and she brings bold flavors, playful presentation, and a love for family gatherings to her content. She's known for signature dishes like a Texas-style barbacoa, the hot and fast peach bourbon pulled pork, which I'm going to try that because that sounds amazing.
Oh, yeah.
She does mesquite smoked birria oxtails and her snake method beef ribs. All of these sound amazing. I haven't eaten dinner yet, and I'm just rigging myself up by even talking about all this stuff. But she is also an ambassador for Oklahoma Joe's, and she often showcases their smokers and grills in her recipes. She has a really cool style and approach that she calls bougie ass barbecue, and she inspires home cooks to make their barbecue look as good as it tastes. And I know I keep saying to y'all, but her stuff looks amazing.
Amazing.
So you got to get over there and check it out. She's active across all of the platforms: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You look for her and you're going to find this lady on there doing some badass barbecue and some really creative spins on a lot of the traditional classics. She also has a couple business ventures where she does recipe tutorials, cooking videos, and again, her collaborations with Oklahoma Joe's and other brands. She does pop-up events, cooking demos, and she has branded apparel and merch, of course, with the Bougie Texas Barbecue plastered all over it. I really can't say enough about this lady, man, because she's super amazing. But let me introduce y'all to Bridgie Zapata. Bridgie, thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
We are fantastic. What's new with you?
Well, I'm here. Thank you so much for your kind words.
Glad to have you, and glad to finally meet you.
Thanks. Thank you so much I love the recipes that you actually picked out because those were like one of the most fun ones to cook. So I'm really excited to talk about them, but thank you so much for the compliments. I'm kind of like in awe because I know these things, but when you hear strangers, say it, well, not really strangers, y'all are family now, but when you hear others, showcase on your hard work, it means a lot.
Yeah, well, it's well deserved. It's well deserved. When we talk about your content and how good it looks, I'm not going to say I know that people who don't do it, they truly do not understand the effort and the hard work it takes to make something look as good as your content looks. What do you think? What do you think really lends to your signature style and the signature look of your content?
Well, to be honest, I tell people all the time, don't let social media fool you. Just because it looks like I did this in 30 minutes doesn't mean it didn't take me 3 days to really prep, record, order in, because I didn't let the kids touch it until I did the final shot. So I really just want to bring awareness. So like I said, I'm a mom of 4. I'm a wife. I just had a 9-to-5 job, and I love to cook, but I learned very quickly just because you can cook inside and on the stove doesn't mean you can barbecue. You can smoke meat. But what brings, I guess, I like to do recipes that are very eye-catching, that are colorful, but like, oh, she can do it, so I can do it. It looks easy, but it's really not. But that's why I put such a detail in the description, and my ingredients make sense. I don't know if y'all seen posts where it's just like a bunch of random ingredients that look like they were, from Chat GPT. No, like
somebody just raided the grocery store and just
like my ingredients, like they make sense. Like I don't know if y'all have noticed that from other social platforms versus like my ingredient list. Like you're like, oh yeah, okay, this is doable. I have this at my grocery store. Like, let me try and make this.
For sure. And your recipes, they're doable and, like you said, accessible.
Mm-hmm.
and I think you do. You give people the confidence that they can pull it off.
Also, I really focus on Tex-Mex cuisine because let's be honest, like who doesn't love Mexican food? Like Mexican food and a margarita, like that just sounds like a good time to me. So, and Mexican food tends to be very colorful, so and that's very eye-catching. So if you're scrolling and you see tacos, cilantro, onion, and salsa, you're gonna probably 9 out of 10 times click on it and see what it is. So, I think I initially started on traditional Texas barbecue when I started recording, but then I slowly mixed in my Tex-Mex, like family, I guess, family recipes that I created. And it just kind of took off from there, honestly.
Well, it is, it's amazing. It's amazing. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, I will absolutely echo that because, when I came across your page and I was looking at your content, I'm like, okay, she definitely has it. You make everything look very simple. And I know that it's not. A lot of stuff that you make is not simple. It's complex, takes a lot of time. As you said, people can look at what you do and get that idea that, I can do that. It's real quick and it's anything but. So I commend you on it. I love the way that you set up your content, the way you present it, the way you film it. Everything's crystal clear. Your close-ups, everything is just spot on. So I am curious, how did you come up with your method of how you film? And did you get some help along the way, or is this just all you just figuring it out?
Well, if you actually go like mainly on my Instagram, because that's the initial social media platform that I started on. If you go all the way to the bottom, because I haven't deleted anything, you see like my barbecue struggles, I like to call them. And they're not crystal clear and they're like, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing, but she's posting it and that's okay. But I learned very, very quickly that my phone, which was what I was using at the time, was not cutting it. So there was a lot of glitches. It wasn't focusing. And then you can see my camera in the background. I did some research and I found a camera which was affordable and it was something that I can, zoom in, zoom out, and honestly with Texas can kind of handle the heat because I mean it's hot and then you're by a smoker and it's like 100 times hotter, so you need like a durable camera. But honestly, I am very different from other social media creators. If someone messages me and asks me something, I'm gonna tell them the truth. When I first started, I messaged so many creators, trying to get tips and tricks, and no one wanted to help me. So I know how that feels. So I don't ever want to be that creator. So if you have a general question and not being a weirdo, I'm gonna answer your question. Cause honestly, I can talk about barbecue for hours, but once you kind of make it weird, I'm not gonna talk to you no more. But
I don't blame you.
Right?
But it's such a, it's not where I just like record and post it. My content it's not even close to that. So if someone's on their content creating journey, I will tell them the truth. And I think the most important rule is patience. Like you're going to have to mess it up. You're going to have to study the algorithm. You're going to have to, find something that's going to literally create an audience and who wants to watch you and what recipes work and what recipes don't work. Just because you like something doesn't mean it might not like offend someone else or they don't like that. So it's a lot of trial and error.
So how did you come up with the Bougie identity to your brand?
Well, let's start with Bougie, right? So Bougie means the best, like the best of the best. I'm bougie. I want the best, everything. So, and I spelled bougie like that on purpose. I know it's not spelled correctly, but I spell it like that, like for copyright reasons. But
okay, yeah.
For me, bougie means the best for my family. So I am going to buy the best ingredients. My food is my love, if that makes sense, so they feel my love through my cooking. like a lot of moms, you know. And so I'm gonna buy the bougiest cust. I'm gonna buy the bougiest ingredients. I'm gonna give you the most bougiest meal. So when you leave me, when my children leave me, that they will come running back because they learn very quick that their food out there is nothing compared to mine. And they look at me weird when I tell them this, but I'm like, you're gonna learn. My
Yep.
daughter learned it when she ordered ribs from Chili's, and she
Oh,
found out that they were nothing like mine.
that's
So
not the same.
no,
No.
it's not. So that's what bougie means to me. And if I can provide this bougie meal, you know, so can you for your family. That's what bougie means to me.
Nice.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, man, I like that.
So, where in Texas did you grow up, Bridgie? And what are your earliest memories of barbecue and Mexican food?
Well, I currently reside in Converse, Texas, but I grew up in San Antonio, Texas. So, you know, for I want to say I didn't move to Converse until like 5 years ago. So for 20 plus years, I've lived in San Antonio, Texas. And as far as Mexican Tex-Mex Mexican food, we grew up, you know, not the best. We grew up pretty poor. So traditional Mexican food is actually very, very affordable. So, and my grandma was our main caretaker. So I got all the traditional Mexican cuisine from her, from watching her, to be honest. And no, actually, I wasn't introduced to barbecue until I was an adult. Like, barbecue to us was Bill Miller's barbecue, if y'all know what that is. Like, that's what we thought.
No.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what we thought barbecue
I'm sorry, I didn't
was.
mean to say, oh no.
And I'm just being completely honest. Yeah, so you got that reaction. But that's what we thought barbecue was, until I met my husband and his family. Well, mainly his brother barbecued, real barbecue. So I got like a taste of it and I was like, oh my God, this is so good. Like, this is delicious. Like, can we go to your brother's house again?
Say, I need some more of that, right?
Yeah, right.
Especially because every time we went over, he smoked a Texas style brisket. So, you know, I mean, looking back, he was like venturing on his barbecue journey. So I feel like mine's better than his, and I feel bad for saying that, but like I truly do. But that's where my love started, was going to family events to my in-laws, and you know, they had a big barbecue.
You know,
Nice.
I was kind of curious about that because, you know, here in Texas, you know, most of the guys are the ones that gets on the grills and smoke the briskets and, you know, this and that and the other. So it made me wonder, like, you know, how does your husband fit into it? Do y'all battle on the grill, or is he just saying, nah, you go do it, or what?
I have a lot of stories for y'all for that one. So
Lay it on us.
I love him to death, and honestly, he's like my partner, but he cannot cook to save his life. uh, he can make
Wait,
pancakes.
say allegedly.
Allegedly, he cannot cook. But man, does he make some bomb pancakes. I'm not even gonna, like, they're pretty good. But with that being said, every time we have gone to the grocery store, he's what I like to call clickbait. So people see him and they initially want to be his friend, right? So when we have briskets and pork butts and ribs, they're like, man, what are you cooking? Like, are you like, they'll go up to him and he's like, I don't know, you gotta ask her. And they give me like the weirdest looks. Like, what do you mean? Like, they're so confused and so caught off guard that most of them walk away. Like, they think he's totally joking, and it's me. And the same thing when we pick up charcoal, is they go to him and they ask him, like, well, what kind do you buy? And he's like, I don't know, ask my wife. Like, she doesn't. And they just, I'm telling you, I wish I had a camera for every look that we have gotten when we've gone shopping. It's the funniest thing ever, because you look at me, you're like, this girl is not out here smoking this brisket. Like, are you messing with me? Like, it's so funny, and we'll laugh. Me and my daughter will just laugh because it never fails. Every time we go out, they ask him, and it's like, no, it's me. I'm the one doing it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it,
I love
though.
it. I love it too.
So have you fused and taken like your pulled pork or brisket or oxtails and put them in the pancakes yet?
No, not yet. But I mean, Maybe some savory pancakes. I mean, you
Yeah,
never know.
even not with like pulled pork and pancakes with the maple syrup, man. I'm telling you, it's really good.
I mean, I love me some sweet pulled pork. I'm not gonna lie. I don't discriminate when it comes to barbecue. I love it all.
Well, I bet some oxtails and pancakes would be
Oh
bomb too,
yeah,
man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
that sounds like it. Yeah.
Oxtails any way you get them.
Yeah, yeah, you're right about that. You're
Yeah.
right about that. So you were talking about all of the weird looks and the
Mhm.
reactions you get. Uh, you know, one of the struggles we have here on this podcast is we are always looking for female pitmasters, and it's too rare that we see women in the craft, especially women of color. And so, can you give us a little more on what it's been like to be in that position, and if you've had any backlash, any good stories, bad stories, because it's not a perspective that we get often.
Absolutely. I wish I could say there were more good stories than bad, but I unfortunately I got more of the negative side of social media, I guess you can say. Um, I've been called a lot of things on YouTube, especially on Oklahoma Joe's YouTube channel. I want to say my first 2 years with them, it was rough. Lots of negative comments. People literally said they hated the sound of my voice. Comments about my appearance. Pretty much anything you can think of has been said to me. Um, Now with me being with them for going on 3.5 years, almost 4 years, now I'm growing my audience with them. So now I have like my followers, and it took them a little bit to accept me, but they accepted me now. So but it's so weird because on my YouTube channel, it's the complete opposite. So I've had my YouTube for 2 years, and 90% of the time I get positivity from it. So I don't really understand what's the difference, but I'm still gonna be here regardless if they like me or not, you know?
That's right.
So
Absolutely, as you
I
should.
mean, I'm still gonna be here, and honestly, I really just think that it's just they're mad because I am a woman that can smoke a pretty fire brisket, and it
Yeah,
makes them mad that they can't.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
that's absolutely what it is.
that's what it is.
And
So,
but it's okay. I mean, that's their life. I'm still gonna be happy at the end of the day. So, and I'm still gonna be here at the end of the day. So that's just how I look at it. I mean, yeah, of course, it kind of upsets me. I was like, what did I do to you? I like you, but okay.
Hey, as
It's
long
okay,
as you got haters, you got a fan club.
right?
that's right. And they always watch.
They always watch.
Always.
Oh
Always.
yes, oh yes. But it's okay because I want to say like 9 out of 10 times my videos like perform very well on Oklahoma Joe's channel. So it's okay. I'm still here. I'm happy. So
Well, we're glad you're still here.
That's right. And don't go anywhere. Like keep giving it to them, sis. Don't
Absolutely.
keep giving it
Absolutely.
to them.
You know, it is kind of funny because I remember when, I started YouTube and I don't know if you heard my story, but we blew up really, really fast, in a year or whatever. And so I started to bring in a whole lot of new, people watching or whatever. And I went from having all kinds of positive comments to everybody's kind of loving you to all of a sudden I got the most ridiculous comments, and some of the most racist things. And I mean, all kinds of stuff. And it just kind of lets you know, where the world is. But, like I said, I stuck to that as long as you got haters, you got a fan club. And I knew that I could rely on them. Every time I dropped a video, they were going to watch it, you know? And
Yeah.
so it's that whole kill them with kindness because, you just jump in the comments and it's like, hey, thank you for watching and, giving me a view and,
They
this and
hate
that, and the other.
that.
It kept it moving. Oh, they hated
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, they hate it.
They hate it. And it was funny because I could drop a video and I would look at, your likes and dislikes and I could see, the first 3 or 4 thumbs down that I knew who it was. And it was like clockwork every time I released a video. So whoever you were out there, thank you.
I love that.
Yeah, and I always tell them thanks for watching. I give them 2 thumbs up because hey, you just got me paid, sucker. Like every time you watch, every time you put a thumbs down, every time you comment, you putting money in my pocket. So keep on hating, baby.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I love
Hey,
that.
me too. Well, look, y'all, we're going to take a quick break. We got to pay a few bills. Y'all, look, make sure y'all check out our sponsors. We have some amazing sponsors with amazing products. And don't just sit there and watch the commercials. Damn it. Get out there and order something. These folks take care of us, so y'all get out there and take care of them. We'll be right back.
We like you to meet Sweet Charlene, the barbecue seasoning created from family bonds that is low in sodium but high in flavor. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a seasoned pitmaster. Level up your barbecue game with this dry rub that has amazing taste and great color. Go to eddywrightbarbecue.com right now and order your choice between the 6-ounce shaker bottle, the 16-ounce bag, or my favorite, the 32-ounce bag, and start rubbing your beef, pork, and poultry the right way.
All right, y'all, we're back. T, go ahead and take it away, brother.
Earlier you mentioned Tex-Mex cuisine. How does Tex-Mex influence the way you approach barbecue?
Well, honestly, guys, I have to cook something that my kids are gonna eat. So, and 9 out of 10 times they're gonna eat Tex-Mex. But I want to say I'm more familiar with those ingredients, and I've done so many trial and errors in like the back end of my content creation that I pretty much figured out what ingredients complement smoke, what ingredients shouldn't be on the smoker. Um, so since I literally cracked the code, I really like to incorporate it with my meals because it took me so long to figure it out that now that I have, it tastes amazing. So, I'm absolutely going to include it in my recipes because if it tastes this good, like everyone should be able to taste it.
So you have any particular recipes that are your favorite now that you've cracked the code?
Well, yes. So I know y'all kind of mentioned the oxtails, and that was such a fun cook because I've seen oxtails really cooked like Jamaican style or like home style. I never seen too much of a Tex-Mex Mexican twist when it comes to oxtails, and the texture is so similar to barbacoa and it's so somewhat similar to a beef shank. I was like, you know what? I bet you if I braise this in birria, it's gonna taste so good. And the fat from the oxtail is gonna float right on the top so I can dip the tortilla and it's not gonna, it's
Yeah.
it's not gonna stick.
I'm hungry, man.
So I'm like, I bet you this will taste so good. And I tried it once and I made a video out of it. And, and now like 9 out of 10 times I use oxtails for birria or for carne con chile, like it's just the braising since I'm wrapping it, or if you wrap it in foil, the smoke is not going to impact those chilies and it's going to just enhance the meat that already has that smoke flavor and it just balances out at the end. And I think that's the big thing when it comes to barbecue is people overcomplicate it and they realize that it's really a science and it's really about balancing those flavors. And, that's a number one tip that I give people. Like, you have to be patient and you have to figure out the code. You have to figure out how to balance your acidity, your sweetness, your savory. You have to figure out how to balance those tones when you're trying to create a recipe.
That's like the biggest thing because most people, they want you to tell them everything. Tell me how much it is. Tell me. And I always tell people like, man, you got to figure it out. Whatever your flavor profile is, you might not like it the way I like it. Like I'm not a sweet barbecue person all the time. I like the savory. I love salt and pepper. I mean, I got every freaking rub known to man back here, but I always seem to go back to salt and pepper because that's just my profile. And I tell people, you just got to figure out what your profile is and play around with it. If you go too salty or whatever, maybe add a little sweet and try to bring it back, or the same with heat. If you get too much heat, bring a little sweet, and kind of balance it out. Just play around with it. But that leads me into what we were just talking about with your, the barbacoa and all that. And I want to know, because I do like barbacoa and I, make barbacoa on occasion. Talk us through what makes your barbecue unique.
Well, it kind of goes off of what you said, like your flavor profile. So a lot of people kind of are iffy when you just put salt and pepper. They're like, why just salt and pepper, and why not
Right.
garlic and onion powder? So what makes mine, I want to say, special and unique is my wood combo. So right there with the barbacoa, it was mesquite, but sometimes I add like a couple cherry wood, so it kind of gives it that mahogany flavor and it doesn't really affect the flavor. So the wood combos that I use per cook is what's going to set aside my barbecue versus someone else who smokes it the exact same way but uses a different wood profile. And I also always say people need to focus on your fire management as much as your protein, because mesquite is really strong if you don't let it, clear out. So if they're just throwing in mesquite logs and not letting that smoke clear out, they're going to have that harsh bitterness. And that's going to, that's going to determine the difference between their cook and my cook. And people look at me and I tell them what to do and they don't do it. They don't listen. And then they wonder why their smoke didn't come out good. I was like, hey man, like, did you let your freaking smoke get clear? Or did you just like let that white puff come out? So fire management, leave that lid closed and figure out, what flavor profile goes well with you. I think my signature wood combo would be post oak and cherry wood. And salt and pepper, especially when it comes to my brisket and my beef ribs. That's literally all I use is salt and pepper, no binder, trim it down, and I use 2-to-1 ratio, so 2 splits post oak, 1 split cherry wood. That's my signature move. Depending on smoker, depending on my smoker. But if I'm on my offset, 2-to-1 ratio.
I like that. It's funny because today I actually, fired up and I did some post oak and cherry wood. It's kind of funny we're talking about that because most of the time I stick with post oak because I just love that post oak flavor. But afterwards, I was just kind of like, man, how come I don't play with cherry wood a little bit more?
It gives beef such a pretty like light mahogany color, and it doesn't affect the flavor. So that's why I love using cherry wood, just for that reason right there. If you ever wonder why my beef or like any protein is most likely gonna be because I throw cherry wood in there. It's because I threw cherry wood in there.
I hear that.
I'm a big fan of cherry, especially if I'm smoking pork. I love that like you said, it gives a mahogany reddish color, but there's just like a luster to it. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And you just can't beat that. You just can't beat that. So yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. Now we talked about the recipe that I want to try, which is the peach bourbon pulled pork. And that's just such a really cool flavor combo. What was the inspiration behind that, and how do you balance the sweet and the smoke and the liquor? How do you balance all that?
Okay, well, the first rule I have is don't drink all the liquor. Okay, you gotta save some for the pulled pork.
Wait, what'd you say?
Don't drink it all.
I'll leave a little bit.
Yeah, you need to buy 2 bottles, one for you, one for the pork. But it was fall when I was working on that recipe. And, that's when all the maples, the peach flavors were out. And I just had a bottle of peach bourbon, and because I was making tea out of it. I was using tea and the peach liquor, and it just tasted good. And I was staring at the pork butt and I was like, wait, should I inject this pork? Should I inject this pork butt with this liquor
pork butt was
now?
calling a name.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I've done liquor, liquor needs a long time to cook in your proteins, right? So for it to tenderize the meat. And I was like, you know what? I bet you if I inject the heck out of this pork butt, I can get that back end flavor. And it honestly was an experiment that went well. And I recorded the whole thing. So yes, I injected that pork butt until it looked like it was on steroids. I let it sit for like 45 minutes, and I was like, okay, so what goes with peach? So I was like, let me hit it with like a sweet heat rub, I believe is what I used. And I was like, okay, so I have my acidity from the sweet heat rub, and I was gonna, when I wrapped it, I put more liquor and a little bit of apple cider in there as well. And it just tenderized the heck out of that pork butt. If you saw that video, like it was juicy, the bark formed from the sugars from the liquor, and it was great. It was just a great cook. I mean, I didn't really do anything to it besides inject it. And sure enough, when I took a bite, right at the end, like just right at the end, that last bite, the hint in the back of your throat was just, I could taste the liquor, but it wasn't overpowering. So I know that liquor got cooked all the way through.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's on my list, and I'm definitely going to recreate that, and I will give you credit.
I honestly, I did ribs too, so I injected ribs with it, and I tasted more of the, obviously more in the liquor in the ribs because it was a less cook time, but it was interesting. It was really good. Honestly, next time I would probably use like a peach preserve as a glaze just to complement the pork, whether you're doing ribs or pork butts. So do like a peach jalapeno barbecue sauce if you do that pork butt, because it's gonna complement it in like the best way. It's gonna complement it the best way.
Now that's a
You see, I'm over here scheming and dreaming.
You know, a few weeks ago I did that peach bourbon baked beans.
I saw that.
And I got another version that I'm actually going to be filming this week to go on Pit Boss channel. But yeah, Brandon, you go ahead on and recreate that. I'll bring the beans, brother. I got you.
Say less, brother. Say less.
Hey, T, you better get your ticket. Come on.
Yeah, man, I got to, man. I'm tired of missing these little get-togethers and filming, and I'm just like, man, all of that looks good, man. I just want to bite.
And now that I remember, also in that video, I let that peach bourbon sit with pecans overnight, and I used pecan and peach wood during that cook. Yeah. So if you like that nutty flavor with pork, you could do that as well. And then I drained it into my injecting tube, and that's when I injected it, and it did complement the pork really well.
Nice.
How do you balance that with these great videos that you put together with these recipes, and being a mom, being a wife, and them being hungry? Like, how do you balance that, creating content and feeding them and doing your other things?
Organization is like the best tip I can say. Also barbecue snacks. So like when you trim your ribs down, the little extra flap of meat, smoke that, give them little snacks always helps. But honestly, I try to commit one day a week where I stock the fridge up with a bunch of snacks. Whether it's actually on the video that just launched today, showed like an example. I smoked some turkey and I used little cookie cutters to make them into like a Lunchables, basically like a healthier version of Lunchables. And ciabatta sandwiches, salads, wraps, stock the fridge up so the kids don't bug you and you don't always have to order in. Not saying I don't order in when stuff goes wrong, because so it happens, and especially in my earlier barbecue journey. But yeah, stocking the fridge, organizing their schedules with my schedules. Like, for example, this week I know I'm not going to be able to record anything because it's back to school week. So the weekend is going to be my best shot of recording, but just figuring it out, your balance. And one of the a couple smokers I have are kind of like set it and forget it smokers. So in the morning I could throw in a brisket or throw in, some beef cheeks, and it's going to run itself and I can do what I need to do. You know what I mean? So it's really just finding your groove, organizing everything, and not going insane, and a lot of caffeine. That helps. Yeah, a lot of caffeine, and everything just tends to work out.
So I want to ask you, because you were just saying ordering in sometimes when things don't go right. Mm-hmm. And so I just want to get into like the behind the scenes of content creation. And, one thing about it, we're all creators, and we've all had it happen to us many times. Sometimes things just don't go right. Mm-mm. And how do you how do you bounce back when something is a disaster, and how do you not let it get you down so that you can just keep moving forward?
Honestly, I've had a lot of those days, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I've had those days, and especially when you're incorporating recording and cooking. You know, like your camera gets too hot or it dies, you run out of memory. You know, there's so many things, so many different factors that happen. It rains, you know, something happens, and I always say it as it's a learning experience. So, okay, watch the weather, make sure my camera doesn't get blown to the side and breaks. Um, you know, like I don't, to me, I've learned not to take it as a negative because now I know what not to do for the next time. You know, now I know what I'm not or where I'm not going to buy something or like, you know, produce or meat or something like that. I know what not to do. So I take it more as a positive. Like, okay, I messed up, you know, we're ordering Chipotle, but it's whatever. You know, we're ordering Chipotle, whatever. But now I know I'm not going to do this tomorrow or I'm not going to do it this weekend. So I look at it as more as a learning experience. Yeah, it sucks. Like, yeah, you wasted money, but it could always be worse is how I look at it. And I grew a lot from it. You grow from it, honestly.
It's an investment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I
Yeah.
think, you know, and people who are just getting started, or even folks who are just viewers, I think it's important that they know that we're not perfect.
No.
And we don't
No.
always get it right. And,
No.
Mhm.
you know, it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier. What you might see in an 8-minute video, that could be 16 hours worth of work
Yep.
between the prep, the cook, the editing, the recording, and setting up shots and all of that stuff. And you know, movies is magic. Like, I understand that, but like there is a lot that goes into it. And how you were saying about camera overheating, I know T had that issue back here a couple weeks ago,
Yes.
and I kept having that issue. I ended up buying a newer camera recently, Sony FX30, that has a fan built into it, and because I had enough times where I'm sitting there talking to the camera, I'm doing my thing, and I look
Got that
over and
thing
it was
glistening.
like, yeah, my hair glistening, coils bouncing back, you understand? And there's no red light on the camera. Like, the hell? Like, why isn't my camera recording? I go back there and that thing is because it's overheating. And after enough times, I was like, okay, you know what? It's time for me to invest in something where this isn't going to keep happening. And I learned my lesson after about the third time, because again, now my whole day is wasted. I wasted the food, I wasted the shoot, and then you have to muster up the energy to now try to do that all over again.
Yep.
It's exhausting. I really don't think people understand, especially when you live in a hotter climate like Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It is so hot. And it's so hot not to sweat on camera. It's like you're glistening everywhere, sweat's dripping, and you're trying to talk into a camera. It's nerve-wracking, it's hot. And when you're by a hot box or even on the drum smoker, it is like 100 times hotter.
Yeah.
So I've gotten to the point where thank God I'm able to zoom in. I put my camera like a good way back and I zoom in because it gets so hot. Especially when we have the 100-degree weathers down here. Luckily, it hasn't been too hot, but now we're hitting the hundreds down here. So,
yeah,
you know, it's just balancing. And sometimes I wait for days where it's not 100 degrees outside. The deck where I move now, I have a deck now, so that helps, but it's still hot.
You know, we've been good this year because, like you said, we haven't had a whole lot of 100-degree days. I think we've earned it. We deserve it. But you know, yeah, we do have there's some hot days coming in, but nothing like it. I remember, you know, we ended up swapping. My studio now used to be my wife's office, and I was just like, man, it's just too freaking hot to be out there, you know, trying to do this or that and the other. And I definitely feel you on that. Luckily, I haven't had my cameras overheat so far, but I got fans and everything mounted back there, so it definitely helps out. So, but let's talk about this for a minute. Let's switch up here. We talked earlier about Oklahoma Joe's, and we know that you are an ambassador and partner with Oklahoma Joe's. So, talk to us and let us know, how did that come about? What that, what's that relationship been like? And, what are some of your favorite products from them?
Well, me and we like to say OKJ. We have a really, really good relationship, and I'm honestly so honored that they chose me, because when they found me, I had less than 1,000 followers, and there are so many people who barbecue in Texas. So I guess I could say they saw the potential in me when they saw my page. So I was just starting up and I was tagging everyone, Weber, Char Griller. I was tagging everyone just to I guess get noticed, I guess you can say. And they found me, and when they messaged me, because they messaged me on Instagram, I like did a double take. I was like, is this real, or is this like a fake profile messaging me right now? Like, is this real? And it was real, and it just kind of took off from there. And they found me in 2021. So yes, 2021. And we talked about just a potential, 6-month kind of see how things go, and it blew up from there is all I can say. My OG rig is my reverse flow offset from Oklahoma Joe's. That's my old faithful. I love her. She's going on 5 years strong, and I'm restoring her right now because the firebox is a little rusted. But I have a lot of offset recipes. I'm ready to reshoot, I guess you can say, once she's up and ready. So that is my go-to. I love my offset. I love offset recipes. I love watching the fire and and managing the fire. It was the hardest thing to do, but I love it now, so I'm not complaining. It really was hard to learn how to fire manage, because you are managing that fire like every 45 minutes to 90 minutes, well, with my offset. So it was a learning experience, but that's my favorite smoker. And I have a total of, a good question. I have a lot of smokers from Oklahoma Joe's, actually, because every time they launched one, they just kind of sent like, hey, try this out. Let's, give us some feedback so we know, for our consumers, what works, what doesn't. And I have a total of like 5 different type of smokers from them. So I have like an above one, like the firebox is right below the grill, and the grill where the grilling cooking space. I have an open fire one, which I'm dabbling with because I'm learning how to do more open fire cooks. I have my Bronco drum smoker, and I have a kettle smoker from them, as well as an auto feed charcoal smoker. So that's my one where I was saying, like, just set it and forget it. It's very similar to a pellet smoker. Set the grill, add as much charcoal and wood as you need, and just let it do its thing.
Nice.
I have a question. So one of your videos that I really like is when you did the snake method with those beef ribs,
Mm-hmm.
and then you piled more at the end for the stall. How did you come up with that?
Well, when people always ask what kind of cooks I like, I always say, like, I'm a low and slow girl. I love the low and slow cooks, but that's a long day. So,
Yes.
and I learned very quick, because there's a lot of false information on YouTube, that I used to focus so bad on the numbers. 165, I have to wrap, that's because a lot of creators would say that. And my bark was garbage. And I was like, why isn't my bark like pretty? And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to wrap it. I'm going to let it go, and I'm not going to wrap it. And that's when I stopped. And that's when I stopped wrapping. Like, unless I need to wrap like a brisket flat, or, I don't wrap it. So I just let it go. And then I was like, this stall sucks. I was like, let me just increase the temperature just a little and let me see what it does. And then that's literally how I shortened my 12 to 14 hour cooks to 9 to 10 when it comes to low and slow style of cooking. So I learned that. I was very lucky that I learned that on my own, but yes, it was self-taught. So just little by little, just like a couple degrees, I would do it. And then I got brave and I was like, okay, 225, let's push it to 250, or 250 to 275 during the stall. Because some meats are going to stall for like 3 and 4 hours, and you're just sitting there waiting for it to be done, and your family's hungry. So yeah, it's just trial and error. It's like what I tell everyone. You have to mess it up to perfect it. You're gonna gonna waste, a bunch of briskets until you nail it. Like, that's just part of it.
And
Absolutely.
I wish more people would understand that. And I know there are a lot of novices, and food isn't cheap. I get it. And folks, they want to get it right the first time. But unfortunately, y'all, as we all here know, you're going to have to mess up some meat in order to make good stuff. That's just part of the game. And it really burns my tail when, I do a video and everything. Time and temp. That's what they're commenting.
Oh,
yeah. Like, time is till it's done.
or probe tender. Like, people don't they just look at me like I'm so weird that I'm saying probe tender. Like, if it feels like butter and you're poking a sponge cake, like, you need to pull it off, because if you wait until it hits 205 and then while it's resting, and then when you're resting it goes even higher, like, I'm like, listen to your meat. Like, don't focus on the numbers. Like, listen to your meat.
Thank you.
Always be aware that when you're resting, especially if you're going to shove it in an oven or shove it in an ice box, it's going to go up maybe 3 to 5 degrees, and now it's overcooked, and now it's like bleh. So like, now it doesn't taste as good, and they're like, I'm doing everything right, but when I cut into it, it's still tough. Most likely you didn't rest it long enough. Like, you waited, you listened to so and so on YouTube, it said rest it for 90 minutes and you're good to go. And no, you need to rest it until it drops to an internal temp of 150. You can even go as low as 145. But don't go under that unless you want to get food poison.
Stay out of the danger zone.
Yeah, don't go under that, please don't. So, probe tenderness is like my biggest backlash that I get on videos. They're like, "What do you mean probe tender? Like, what temp was it? What, like, I'm like, just listen to your meat, my guy. I promise you. Just listen to it, let it rest, and then you can slice it and you're good to go."
Yeah, and for those who don't understand why she's saying that, every piece of meat is different. Mm-hmm. Especially when you get into larger cuts of meat like briskets or beef ribs or even something like a chuck roast. Like, those all came off of different animals. It's not a tube of ground beef where you have this homogenous, super consistent product. Every one of those things is different. And you're talking about something off an animal. Every animal is unique. They had a different life. They ate differently. They treaded through different fields.
Like people.
They're just like people.
Yeah.
And you have to understand, you can have 2 briskets on 2 identical smokers. You could cook them at the exact temperatures in the same spots on the same grills, all that stuff. And I guarantee you, they are not going to end up done at the same time. It's just not going to happen. Folks have to stop being so rigid. And like Bridgie said, listen to the meat, probe that thing. When that thermometer, when you touch it and it falls through, you're golden, my guy. Like, get that thing off of there. Like, stop being so rigid, y'all.
Stop listening to them dang YouTubers.
Well, no. Listen to Bridgie. Yeah. Listen to Bridgie, because she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah. Because,
dude, I love to hear it too.
On that note, I promise you, when I first started smoking, I watched every single, video I could find, and everyone said the same thing, especially when it came to brisket. Wrap it at 165, start at 250. Doesn't matter whether you use foil or paper, butcher paper. Yes, it does matter if you use one or the other. But, and I fixated so bad at 165 on wrapping 165. I'm telling you guys, I messed up at least 20 briskets until it became edible. Like, before it was even able to be chewed on, I messed so many up. And on that note, when people ask me about that, because they're so shocked, they're like, "Oh, you know how to smoke a brisket?" Like, yes, I know how to smoke a brisket. They ask me all these questions, and they're like so happy that I was completely honest with them, and it like remotivates them. And that's like, to me, I'm like, oh, yes, finally. Even if it's one person, that makes me happy. Like, yes, my guy, do it. You can do it. Just listen to my instructions and don't mess it up. Like, just listen. Don't go off road. Just stick to it.
use common sense, and most people, they can cook in the kitchen, they can do, whatever. But for whatever reason, when you get outside and now you're having to fire manage and, all these types of things, it's like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? It's Dude, listen to the meat. It'll tell you. I've been saying this for years, so I'm loving listening to you say this. Because again, I tell people, probe tender. Well, so-and-so said you got to cook it to 202. Like, well, go ahead and do that then. If you want to make perfectly inconsistent brisket, do that. So I love it. I love it.
So those are people I like to call ask holes.
Yeah.
Like you're asking me something and then I'm giving you an answer. Yeah, but such and such said, well, go talk to them.
Yeah.
Like you came over here and asked me something and I'm telling you what to do. And now you want to refute that. Like, why'd you even come over here bothering me?
Absolutely. You listen to the meat. It'll tell you when it's ready.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've had brisket go, as short as 198. I've had brisket on as long as 217. I just had to listen to the brisket. It tells you when it's ready. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and drink my drink because you already said it all.
I don't know if y'all remember, but dude, I had this big chuck roast that I smoked. This was probably about a year or so ago. And dude, that thing stalled on me and it was standing it would not bud. Bridgie, I smoked that chuck roast for probably like 7 hours before that thing finally got to the point where it like loosened up and was like, okay, I'm ready. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, I am far from what I would call being a master, but I know what the hell I'm doing. But believe me when I tell you, that chuck roast put up a fight. That thing did not want to let go.
Well, I can counter your chuck roast. So I dabbled into bison.
Yeah. That's different.
And I got a bison brisket, right? That thing stalled so long and I was so scared to turn it up higher than 225 because it's so lean. I was like, nope, I'm gonna let it. And it stalled for like 5 hours. And I was like, it's never gonna be done. It's gonna be in there forever. And I was just like, and I somehow a miracle happened and it finished and it came out perfect and it was really good actually. I was very surprised. It didn't have as much of a beefy flavor as a regular brisket, but texture-wise, it was spot on. And I was like, man, I really didn't overcook this brisket. I was like, I am proud of myself, like, that I did that.
There you go.
Yeah, but that thing stalled, so I understand. I feel your pain. It sucks. It sucks.
Yep, sometimes you just have to stick with it.
Yeah.
Honestly, sometimes I start cleaning because I'm like, nope, I'm gonna mess with it. Like, nope, I will do something else to distract me from going outside because it sucks. Like, you just want to make sure it's not like dead in there or something, like it's dried out, And
keep the hands occupied.
Yeah, and that's another thing I tell people: just leave it alone. It's easier said than done, but just leave it alone. Keep that lid closed.
I always tell people, when you're doing a long cook like that. And like you said, people make it more difficult than it needs to be. And I always tell them, I'm like, brisket is literally the most boring cook that you can do. Once you figure out your process, you go into cruise control. And it's like, I want to cook anything but a brisket because that's boring. Let me go do a live fire or something, just so I can do something, So, dude, I hear you. I hear you. So what's next? You've accomplished so much. And, it's been a short amount of time. And obviously, I know you've got a lot more planned. So what's next for Bougie Barbecue?
That's a good question. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, I'm dabbling into live fire. I want to say, like, my skill level is beginner moderate, I guess you can say, like on real open fire cooks. And I want to be at the point of where I am now, where I'm comfortable with the smoke, or whether it's, low and slow or hot and fast. Like, I want that confidence. I want to have said that I have mastered that. So that's my next level. And also going more out of my comfort zone. Like, for example, like harder seafood. Like, I've dabbled into some seafood, but not like the harder cooks where, you're going to definitely probably mess it up. But just basically going into areas that I'm not known for or not comfortable in, and then just bringing more awareness to being a woman in this field because it's not easy. I'm not gonna lie, I have to work, twice as hard than the average man in this field, and it does suck, but I'm here for it and I'm not leaving. So, you know, I've seen male content creators who make similar recipes and they're at 2 million views, and I do the exact recipe and I'm at like 5K views, but that's okay because I'm still happy, and it's definitely been a barbecue journey, and I'm just here to learn more. You know, I'm just here to bring awareness and represent my state and represent a woman and be an example for my daughters, because honestly, before this even happened, I was just working a 9 to 5, being, you know, a happy mom and a wife at home. And I built a brand. So I'm very, very happy. And now I was able to quit my job and do this full time and able to pay bills and bring in an income. So I'm very proud of myself
That's awesome.
for
That is
making it.
awesome.
Yeah, and we're proud of you too, sis.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're proud of you too. And trust, believe me, we understand exactly what you're talking about. That's why we have this podcast today.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep on pushing and give them hell. Give them hell.
And on it. And thank you guys. Thank y'all for finding me, for one, and, you know, noticing the struggle and recognizing it and having me on here. Like, I really do appreciate it.
We appreciate
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
We appreciate everything you do, and we'd love to have you back again sometime. And because these are always too short, but yeah, loved having you. And yeah, you have an open invitation whenever you want to come back. You got something new you want to announce or discuss, you just let us know, and we'll get it done.
All right.
Bridgie, tell the folks where they can find you.
You can find me everywhere. So Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, at Bougie Texas Barbecue is my handle.
Awesome. And where do they find the merch? So
the merch is coming. So I have merch. It's not live yet, but it is in the process.
Awesome. Well, when it's live, let us know. Come back and we'll do a spot for it.
I'll send y'all samples. Don't even worry.
Absolutely.
I'm an extra large. I'm ready for it.
I got you.
So you tell the folks where they can find you, bro.
You can catch me at tww.bbq on Instagram, Facebook, Threads. What's the other one? TikTok. And tww-bbq on YouTube. And if you're into poetry, you can find me at the Brown Sugar Cafe on all socials, and pick up a copy of my latest book, Paint is Not Only a Paintbrush, at thebrownssugarcafe.blog/hope.
Yes, indeed. Al, tell the folks where they can find you, bro.
Absolutely, man. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, The Dogfather's BBQ. That's DAWGFATHAS BBQ. You can also find me on the Pit Boss Grills YouTube channel on two playlists. Actually, I'm on Backyard Bosses, and we actually have my own playlist on there now called Barbecue Boulevard with the Dogfather. So come check me out.
I'm going to be like you one day, man. Get my own show.
Hey, you might have it next week.
Who knows, man? But look, y'all can find me everywhere except for that pit of hell known as X or Twitter or whatever that is. Don't do that. But everywhere else, look for BKC Cooks, and you will find me and this luxurious mane all over the place, all up in your face. And also, I am also on the Pit Boss YouTube channel under Backyard Bosses. I don't have my own show just yet, y'all, but y'all just wait. I'm working on it, working like hell. I'm getting my own show, come hell or high water. No, Pit Boss is really good to us, man. We really enjoy working with them. And we're in the same family as Oklahoma Joe's, too.
Yeah,
we're sister companies.
Absolutely. So shout out to all the good folks over there. Bridget, again, we thank you for jumping on with us. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we wish you all the success. And if there's anything you ever need from us, you just let us know. And folks, make sure y'all subscribe right here to the Black Smoke Barbecue YouTube channel and boogie on over to Patreon. Get yourself a membership. Enjoy all the exclusive, including Black Smoke After Dark. Don't bring your kids over there, but if you want to have fun, come on over there with us. Have a whole bunch of laughs and good times, y'all. And we thank y'all for watching. And folks, this is the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. We're out.
Peace.
Peace.